Hey guys, so I just want to talk about week 5 really quickly. As promised, here's the video. But let's discuss a few things. First and foremost, I want you to note that I have updated dates. So your city training, all of you pretty much are done. No worries there. But I've updated the date or the due date for the search strategy, and I've updated the date of the PubMed assignment because those are not as essential to this week as what we're going to be working on. And since I'm adding so many videos or stats videos, I want to make sure I give you enough time to go through that as well. So I'm pushing the PubMed assignment back to April 28th, so turning it on April 28th, and then I'm pushing back the search strategy assignment back to April 28th as well. Let me explain why. Okay, first and foremost, I'm going to bring up the documents that I'm talking about. So the search strategy assignment is related to your personal PICO. Okay, so this search strategy assignment is what you're going to be completing for your personal question that you've chosen. Since we're not technically going to be working on your own PICO until next week, this week we're going to be working on the group version. This doesn't need to be due this week, so I'm changing it. Now, the search strategy assignment, okay? This is, again, based on your personal PICO. So what you're going to do here is you're going to provide an overview of the search strategy that you used to find your articles. And I know a lot of it was done in class um, after week 3, but some of you might still be looking for articles. So nonetheless, here's what we have. The purpose of this assignment is to allow you an opportunity to practice and improve clinical searching skills. Okay, so using the 5 articles that I asked for you to pick, or that you are probably currently still picking, you're going to use them to answer this. So first and foremost, you have clinical scenario. In this section, please describe the client or the clinical patient / scenario that you're going to research. And that's what you're currently working on. This is why I said find something near and dear to you so that one, you can provide some good evidence for your practice, and two, it's a little more personal when you're providing the clinical scenario. And I do have an example that I'm going to give you of what that section should look like. Now, next section, clinical question. Please put your PICO here. Okay, search terms. Here you're going to tell us what search term, or me, what search terms did you use to find your question, or to search for articles for your question. Search strategy, you're going to put in your search strategy. Identify all the databases that you use to search. Inclusion and exclusion. Now remember, when you look at studies, they all have criteria that they're focusing on to get the right patient population. Now technically, we really didn't define this, but I want you to think as you're going through, what would be your ideal inclusion and exclusion criteria for the patient population that you're looking at to answer your question, okay? Now, grading rubric is listed below. This is out of 25 points. Okay, each section is worth 5 points. One thing I would like to add or to note additionally, please do not leave the question or my statements in this document when you turn it in. I want those gone. This should only be your response. You can leave the headings. I'm fine. Of course, the headings should be there, but don't leave the statements in here and then put your response below. If you do, I'm just automatically going to give it right back to you because I specifically asked that you remove these bullet points that I have provided to help you know what goes in that particular section, okay? So this is your search strategy assignment. This will be due April 28th. This is specifically for the PICO that you're looking at, and an example will be provided. So you have an idea how to write this. Now, let's go to back to the PubMed assignment. Now, this PubMed assignment we worked on together in class. We worked on part 2. This is what we did all the way up to question 10. This is where you should have stopped, okay? Question 10. You do not have to go any further than question 10 for part 2. That's where we stopped. Now, the portion that you're going to complete on your own is part 3, independent search. I've given you a case. Here's the case. What I want you to do is use PubMed to find the best 5 articles to answer this PICO question. And remember that those articles should be applicable to your patient in high level of evidence. So applicable to this patient, okay? And here are defined instructions of what to do. So essentially, based on this, you're going to do an article search for 5 articles. You're going to provide the citations for the 5 articles that you found and a copy of your search history. So like a snapshot is fine, and you can place it right in this document at the bottom. So I know how you conducted your search and what you looked for. Okay? Grading. Part 1, we did not do, so don't even worry about that. You're being graded for part 2 and for part 3. Part 2 is the one we did together. Part 3 is what you're going to do. So you can place your responses on this same document. So the 5 citations of the articles and then a copy of your search history. Okay? Those are that's the PubMed assignment, and then we also talked about the search strategy assignment. Those 2 again are due April 28th. Now, let's talk about the CAP group assignment. Now, this is the one we're going to do together, okay? I've attached an article here of an article that we're going to use to do the group assignment, okay? And we're going to, as explained in class, we're going to use the group CAP, which is also the same as your individual CAP, to complete this. Or this is what we're going to complete with the group CAP. So essentially, everyone's using the same article to practice doing a CAP. That is this article attached in week 5. And each of you individually are going to work on this group CAP. But you're going to put it in the discussion post so that we can all work together to figure out if you guys did it correctly. This is practice for when you start working on your own. Now, this may be a little tough, but hence that's why we're going to put it into the discussion board so I can see what you've come up with this far and I can help you where help is needed. Yes, I will be looking at each and every one of yours. Make sure you also look at your peers and comments so you can see if you if you had similar responses or similar answers, okay? Again, this is to help you figure out exactly how this will be done for the 5 articles you have chosen. So this is the group CAP assignment. It's just the CAP that you're going to use individually to do your 5, but we're going to do 1 together this week to work on. Okay? Let me make sure if there's anything else that I wanted to talk about. That is everything that I wanted to point out. Other than that, I am going to continue to give you stat videos to discuss, or that we will use to discuss. And yes, one will be using this article so that it makes sense, okay? All right.